Hello and welcome to the Big Sandy and Kanawha Subdivision in HO scale. I just wanted to do an update of where my progress has been since my last update. I'll zoom out here, I'll show you that I have got my backdrops installed around the layout. These are realistic backgrounds. What I did with them so they would match and be consistent all over, since each background had a different sky to it. I just went in with X-Acto and cut out the images from the background with an X-Acto knife, and just went in real close to eliminate as much of the sky as possible. So this is the background for the Russell yard, even though it is not near the Russell yard. If you live in the Ashland area or grew up in that area, you'll know with the steel mill there, it was prominent through the 70s and 80s, that this is my representation of it. So for the yard area itself, for Russell Yard, the only thing I really did in this area was put that background in, get that cut out, and then just cut out a couple holes for lights for the buildings that'll go here. Excuse the mess. I've been working on Catlettsburg more than anything since my time off, so the way Catlettsburg will blend in, this area here, this paper cut out is kind of a little template for a hill that'll go in there with the trees and shrubs around it, just to kind of give a little seam block, and then blend it into downtown Catlettsburg, which I have gotten the streets and the parking lots for the buildings laid out. Buildings that I've chosen are kind of what you would see in Catlettsburg in this area. Some things I did move around, had to move around just for space. The fire department over here is close to this area in downtown. The street that runs here will run into the flood wall that I'm building. We'll have a break right there, so if you know where you can go through the flood wall, and there's a little park area behind it along the Big Sandy River and Ohio River where they meet at. The depot for Catlettsburg, I've moved over here, even though it's on the other side past the fire station. I moved over here because it's something I wanted to get in and represent, show more of the C&O Chessie heritage in that area. So the depot will be here, and the caboose that sits outside will be here in the parking lot. In between the streets, I'll have just a little park area put over here with the roads, and then with the road coming around the downtown area, which goes into neighborhoods. Like I said before in the last video, the flood wall will run all the way down, so this gap here will be covered with a little hill where the flood wall runs into. The flood wall itself is a concrete wall. Some areas of the city where the terrain, I guess, is high enough that it doesn't need a flood wall. They've just built a flood wall into the little hills and mountains through there that act as like a natural barrier. So again, the flood wall will run all the way down here past the refinery. Continuing in, this will be a part of, again, Catlettsburg downtown area. Here's where what I've gotten with the flood wall so far. Go through, I'll put a picture in of one of the streets in Catlettsburg in behind it, so it'll carry on through. Haven't decided which one I want to use yet. But the flood wall itself, if I wanted to represent flooding in the area, I've made the gate where it will slide in. No, sorry. Where it'll just slide into place. I can have the flood wall open or close. Okay, sorry about that. I had to fix the wall. So in front of the wall in this area where it goes through, there are several different little businesses along the breaks of the wall. I think a house in one area. So I'm trying to capture that with the businesses, the house nearby. And then there'll be a couple of other businesses along the back here before it blends in with some more trees to be the seam break to get to the refinery. Out here on this part, this is the US 23 part that runs on the other side of the tracks from downtown Catlettsburg. It's still a part of Catlettsburg. I've got the roads in. I made these using the Wilden Scenic Smooth It. It was very, very easy to work with. Masked it off, mixed up the Smooth It, poured it in, let it sit, and then sanded it down, painted it asphalt color, sanded that down to a lighter tone, and then went back over it with Vallejo Sky Gray, and then lightly sanded that down to rough it up a little bit, make it a little bit lighter. So I'm going to go over this with a lighter coat, a lighter gray, before I put in the markings and everything on it. You see kind of some of these other areas. I've been just kind of playing around with using the Tamiya stains to get just to see what it would look like weathering the road up some. I've put down also the golden crackling paste in some areas to represent just the cracked pavement in the roads. Just stained this again with the Tamiya. I believe I used dark gray, a little bit of black, just to kind of get some of the roughed up in the road. And then for the parking lot areas, for all the businesses along the road, I was looking at this craft foam. I picked this up at Michael's. They had the larger sheet, so I like the way that those fit in perfectly with the height of the road. So each one of these I will paint and weather to be the parking lot before I put the businesses in. And some of the businesses doing research and visiting Catlettsburg within the last month and looking at some of the businesses there, and some that I remember as a child growing up that were around the area that's no longer there. I'm going to model those and put in. So each side of 23 will have businesses on it from that area. So like this corner here will be like bowling, feed, and hardware. It's been around a long time. They're still there. I'll put a old Ashland oil gas station here on the corner, because this is the mid 80s that I'm modeling, and Ashland oil in the 70s and 80s were prominent stations in that area throughout eastern Kentucky. So I'll put down kind of a worn down gas station there, some other businesses, including an old Dairy Cheer restaurant. Love Dairy Cheer. I had one in my hometown. And when we went to Catlettsburg, we would stop there frequently as well. So I put a Dairy Cheer, a tire shop over here, which is a tribute to my friend who passed away last year. Owned a tire shop, not in Catlettsburg, actually owned it in Oklahoma City area, but I had this stuff, was going to make it for him to have, and since he passed away, talking to his son about it, and I was like, he said it'd be awesome to put it on my layout just as a tribute to him, so I'll be doing that over there. So not much else is done, just still playing around with the railroad crossings. This is the Walthers, one of the crossings they have. So I'm just kind of playing with that, fitting that in, try to blend it in. But other than that, that's about all I've gotten finished for the last month. School's getting ready to start in about 3 weeks already. The summer has flown by. I haven't got nearly as much finished as I wanted to, but once I get this base, the road, and the parking lots, then I'll be able to start doing a lot more scenery in this area and hopefully have a lot more for you in the next update. So see you soon.